Good morning, everyone. True Zero Emissions here. So, I wanted to ask a question to kind of like express a question, a rhetorical question that we can just think about together. And the question is because I was remembering how Rick Friedrich traveled the country, and many people have done this. Thousands of people have gone across the country and around the world and shared their inventions and the theories of what they understand, and shared it with schools and churches and just all kinds of different organizations, all levels, all kinds, all degrees, all parts of government, military, everything. It's been shared everywhere. And the rhetorical question I wonder is, I don't know if this has been stated clearly, but I've come across this many times in my research and study, because someone might ask, what's the purpose of doing these experiments? What's the purpose of sharing this information? Right? We could ask that question, right? Someone could ask that. And this is what I will say. I'll say one thing right now. The greatest minds on our planet, and I'm talking about people that have studied their whole life about humanity, about thinking, about how can we move away from fighting, deprivation, lacking, where there's a lacking of something, where people are desperate for something they need, right? How do we move towards the universal truth that there really is enough for everyone, right? Because the universe gives us everything we need. It's our responsibility to teach ourselves how to think for ourselves, right? It's not school's job. The school's job is not to do that. Ask the teachers. Ask your teachers. Ask teachers that aren't even your teachers. Ask all the teachers you can meet. How much of what they teach do they feel is what really is important to teach? Here's some questions that you can ask teachers. I did this, okay? I interviewed teachers my whole life. There's a lot of questions you can ask a teacher, right? One of them is what I just said. How much of what you teach do you feel really is the most important thing that can be taught? The most important, most relevant and important thing of what they think. Now we're talking about a teacher, right? Someone who went to school, trained. They live and breathe to teach the best that they can. And they're told what to teach, what to talk about, how to talk about it, and what not to talk about. Okay? This is not discussed in class, but I, myself being infinitely interested in thinking, asked such questions from the earliest of ages, even before school began, right? Even before preschool. So, another question would be, before you ever became a teacher, what you thought it would be to be a teacher. And you could have them talk about that, have the teacher talk about that. What did you think it would be? And talk about how they prepared to become a teacher. And then talk about what happened when they became a teacher. And how was it different from what they thought it would be? And you're going to sometimes see tears in their eyes, because it may be nothing like what they thought it would be. That happens. So, back to where I began in this video, I was talking about enough for everyone, right? The greatest minds on this planet believe, many of the greatest minds on this planet, many of them believe that if everyone, excuse me, if everyone can have highly accessible, low-cost energy, Right now, I don't think we have low cost energy. Okay, maybe some people might think it is. I don't know anyone that thinks our energy is low cost right now. But when I say low cost, I mean low cost. Okay, low cost energy, meaning anyone can afford it on the planet, right? Low cost energy for everyone. And for those that can't afford it, they still get to have energy, right? Everyone needs energy, right? Now, if that, I'm going to say it this way, if that was true, right? Just because the greatest minds in the world think this doesn't mean we have to agree with it. But if that was true, if there was a possibility that this was significant and highly important, how might that change how it affects the people that learn about this? We have some absolutely brilliant, genius people on this planet, many millions and millions. And but we all have different ways of seeing our lives in the world and seeing the world and how we see what the world is, how we see our place in it. But what if we can all make some kind of small contribution towards this important idea of people having access to energy? I don't think that's going to come by making someone feel bad about it. Sometimes you'll see in a seminar or something, someone will stand up and say, well, they'll imply that someone's being selfish with their knowledge. Okay, it's very important to realize that blaming people never gets anything moving in any positive direction. Making people feel bad about things, pointing out people's mistakes, that doesn't do anything to contribute, right? So we're trying to contribute. We're trying to build an atmosphere of positivity and clarity of understanding, and a place where everybody can help a little bit, right? Because those add up. Those little contributions that people make, they add up to something significant, right? So, and that's why I often will say in the community part of this channel of True Zero Emissions, in the community part, so like if you look and it says videos and shorts and all, and across the top it'll say all these different things, and then it'll say community, right? So in that area, I'll often sign off by saying, what shall we create today? Because we can make not only our life and our world, our world being the way that we choose to be in the world, right? We create that. We can engineer that reality. So, and we're the only ones that can, actually. So, so I'll end this video with, what shall we create today? See you soon.